So I'm here with JBL at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel in LA. And did you know that JBL have been involved in the Oscars for many, many years? And this was actually the first place that they held the first Oscars. And also, did you know that this place is haunted? Apparently Marilyn Monroe's ghost is around here somewhere, and also apparently there's a scary pool ghost that sometimes swims in the pool at night. Anyway, today I'm going to check out some Grammys and a soccer stadium here equipped with some of the greatest JBL audio hardware, and we might even hear it in action. Anyway, let's go see those Grammys. Here's a couple of interesting facts about the Grammys. Did you know when you actually win one, you don't actually own it? It belongs to the Academy. And did you know that a lot of artists who have won a Grammy actually snapped off the crank on the side, thinking that it actually does something? So now the new Grammy design doesn't have a crank at all. Okay, so I'm now here in LA at the Grammy Museum. And did you know that JBL are the only audio brand to have 3 Grammys for technical excellence? And do you know what else is technically excellent? Eminem's second album, the Marshall Mathers LP. And it did win a Grammy. And if you're wondering what that has to do with this video, well, not that much. Behind me is the most popular attraction here at the Grammy Museum. It is the Mono to Immersive Experience, and it is sponsored by JBL. And did you know this? If you visit this museum, every single speaker in this building is a JBL speaker. But anyway, this exhibit here, you can go in and listen to the wax cylinder recording of a track, all the way up to the modern day immersive recording of the same track. And if that doesn't sound good, I don't know what does. So you remember how I said JBL has 3 Grammys for technical excellence? Well, they could get another easy win if they could solve the unsolvable puzzle of how to stop kids and adults wanting to push the dome inside the woofer, like it's some kind of magical button. And on the wall behind me, there is but one that has not been pushed yet. Stop right there, criminal scum! Okay, so this is the last stop on this particular part of the tour. This is the Clive Davis Theatre, and some of the greatest music artists have performed in here, including Lady Gaga. And right here is the JBL Harman seat. And there's a good chance that this seat is the best in the house because JBL have 80 years of audio expertise, and they've chosen this particular seat quite specifically, I think. Now, every single speaker in here is a JBL professional speaker, and this is a studio setup. It's kind of a concert, small concert setup. But now we're going to see it on another level. We're going to an actual football stadium where they have the massive JBL speakers, and hopefully we will hear those in action. So this is the BMO Stadium, and the entire stadium is rigged with JBL Pro speakers designed to blow your mind. And what might also blow your mind, if you're American, is the fact that the soccer team that plays here is called the LA Football Club. Yeah, that's right, I said it, football. But it's a soccer stadium. So inside this stadium is 41 JBL speakers and subs, and they're all wired up together and configured in a very specific way so that the crowd can hear the music, but the players on the pitch can't hear it that much. All right, so I'm about to walk out onto the pitch. JBL speakers up there, full blast. Right now I'm in line with all of the seats. Now I'm going to walk towards the pitch. And about here, on the edge of the pitch, you start to notice that the music is still loud, but it hasn't got quite as much bass as it does when you're at the seats. LA, the big city of dreams. Everything in LA isn't always what it seems. And right here, in this wall, is a JBL speaker. It's in the wall. So I've just left the BMO football ground, and I must say, it's been an eye-opening audio experience. And I tell you what else is eye-opening. This car park here is likely the spot where James Lansing had his first ever workshop, where he first started working on audio equipment. And now an entire stadium is equipped with his equipment. Later that day, I made it back to the hotel, and for some reason, I couldn't sleep. I just kept thinking about the JBL Grammys and wondering what they were actually for, and why did they call that soccer club a football club? And also about the scary stories of the Roosevelt Hotel and the pool ghost. Okay, so I'm now here at Harman headquarters in LA, and here are the 3 Grammys that the Harman Group have won. But this one right here is the official JBL Grammy, and have you heard what it's for? The continual mastery and innovation in concert studio, cinema and broadcast sound and monitors to ensure exacting standards for the most accurate sonic experience. Whilst at the Harman HQ, I managed to gain a lot of technical insight into the audio game, which I do believe will help me make better videos for you guys in the future. And also I learned exactly how Harman have researched and calibrated their legendary Harman curve by split testing age groups and split testing trained listeners versus untrained listeners. And also something else that caught my eye was that there was in fact a magical button in the room.
Don't push me.
Also on the tour, I got to check out how JBL perfect the bass on their speakers. And I'm told that sometimes prototypes explode, some melt, and some go up in a puff of smoke. But now with 3D printing tech, it's easier than ever to refine designs and make adjustments pretty quickly. It's not like the old days where manufacturing waveguides and speaker housings would take ages. Okay, so I'm now in Cerebro, aka the Hyperion Sphere. Now this is designed for creating your own personalized HRTF. That's your, what is the HRTF again?
Head-related transfer function.
The head-related transfer function, and I'm surrounded by a sphere of speakers, and what would normally happen is you'd put some earbuds in and they test your sense of direction when it comes to audio. So originally the Hyperion Sphere was designed for computer games and making sure that the audio in computer games could be as immersive as possible, even taking stereo sources and turning them into spatial audio kind of. But now with the emergence of more 360 reality or spatial audio, whatever you want to call it, they use this for calibrating for that kind of content too. So stuff like you might see on Netflix. And just for a little more clarity on this, JBL used the Hyperion Sphere primarily for tuning their quantum gaming headset range. The Sphere allows them to dial in an accurate immersive audio experience into the Quantum series headsets, and it may also allow them to reach all of you gaming mutants out there. So I did get to hear a little bit of the Hyperion Sphere in action, and they did have a room set up in a similar configuration, so we could hear some gaming HRTFs, and it sounded pretty amazing. And the only thing that was missing was a games console.
It is time for sound to take a step forward. Don't do that.
So this is an anechoic chamber. Essentially, all of the walls have these fiberglass elements on them so that the sound doesn't bounce around off the walls. In fact, the sound is bouncing off my face at this point in time. But also right here, it's a JBL authentic speaker. And what they'll do is place the microphone just here so they can really hear what it sounds like.
Our VTX system. And that's sort of the star of the show here besides the Martin lighting. All these are moving head LED lights. We've made a massive investment to switch into LED, and we're going to show a little bit of that technology here. What you're going to be hearing are VTX A12s. So these are the outside column, and our subwoofers are behind the lighting rack here. And if there's one designated person who would like to push the red button, because the red button kicks it all off.
So later that day, I did get a lot more inside intel into the audio game, and I did get to check out the Foo Fighters recording studio, which I couldn't film unfortunately, but I can tell you this, it's not like the others. So remember how I said JBL would deserve another Grammy if they could solve the problem of people pushing the soft dome tweeters? Well, turns out they have actually done it with this new compression driver tech. In fact, the soft dome tweeter is replaced with a bullet. Also on the high end, very expensive JBL speakers that cost £25,000 for a pair is a very unique wave guide on the front. And what's interesting about both the compression driver and the waveform guide is that JBL have managed to compress the technology down into a smaller form factor, and now you can actually find this very expensive technology in their more affordable consumer products like the JBL Authentics range. Anyway, next stop on this trip is the JBL Fest. So I made it to Vegas and JBL kindly hooked me up a bunch of JBL goodies and some Johnny Fly sunglasses which look pretty sweet. And I managed to get out of the casino without losing any money, which is also pretty sweet. Although I must say, I did gain a few kilograms at the restaurants. And later that night, as a sort of warm-up for the festival, JBL threw a party to celebrate the launch of the new JBL Authentic speakers, and my first impressions are, they sound genuinely legendary. And make sure you're subscribed with your notifications on for my full in-depth review coming soon to the channel. Keep an eye out for it. And at the party, there were rumors of Bruno Mars making an appearance, but when I was there, it seemed that all they had was an impersonator dancing on the stage. And I thought to myself, that's not so authentic. So I left, and I'm told 5 minutes later, Bruno Mars did show up, as well as Lenny Kravitz. Once again, brilliant timing by me, and honestly, you cannot make this stuff up. Anyway, now let's fast forward to the JBL Fest. Alright, so made it to the JBL Fest here in Las Vegas, and as you can hear, we're surrounded by sound, and it's all JBL. So before I was rudely interrupted by a golf buggy speeding past at 2 miles an hour, what I was saying was, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hopefully you got some useful information from it, and if you did, let me know in the comments. And I want to give a massive shout out to JBL for hooking up this trip and helping me level up my knowledge of the audio game. Appreciate you guys for watching this one, and if you just subscribed, I will see you in the next one. Don't be late.